켜봅시다.
This is the story
오,
of a man
나온다.
named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee
이제
number
감상하죠.
427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
스탠리는
And
이런
then one
업무가
day,
마음에
something very
들고
peculiar
행복했대요.
happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor
갑자기
for him
지시가 안
to follow.
내려왔구나.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked,
소방훈련인데 말 안
frozen
해줬네.
solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
일단 나가보기로 했대요. 와, 이렇게 움직이는 거구나. 오, 클릭할 수 있나? 클릭 같은 건 뭐야?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
스탠리
What
씨
if he
몇
had to make
년을
a decision?
일했는데
What
알잘딱
if a crucial
못하시나요?
outcome fell under his responsibility?
쓱,
He had never
안
been trained for
되겠네.
that. No, this couldn't go anywhere except badly.
문이 왜
The
갑자기
thing to do now,
닫혔지?
Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days.
문이 안 열려요.
Had years gone by? He no longer had the
뒤에
ability to tell.
아무것도 없는데.
But the one thing he
아니,
knew for
공게임이야?
sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited
뭐야?
long enough, the answers would come.
안 열려.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to.
나 문
He will be
열려고 하는데
told
문이
what to
잠겼어.
do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
응. 왜 혹시 끝난 거야? 일단 나가자. 안 나가면 이게 문이 닫히나 봐. 옆방에 노크해보자. 여기도 잠겨있어. 429번.
All of his co-workers
뭐야?
had gone. What could it mean?
닫혔어.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
여기
Perhaps he had
잠겼다.
simply missed a memo.
회의실? 회의실이 어디 있을까? 우와, 굉장히 넓은데요? 회의실이
When Stanley came
뭐야,
to a
문
set of
닫혔어.
two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
왼쪽 문으로 들어갔습니다. 왼쪽 문이요? 자꾸 문 닫혀.
Yet there was not a single person here.
여기가
either.
회의실인가
Feeling a
봐요.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to
위층의
his
사장실로
boss's
가기로
office, hoping he might
결정했습니다.
find an answer there.
뭐지? 잠겼는데? 위층으로 어떻게 가지? 뭐야? 근데 공게임이 아닌데 공게임 느낌이 계단이네.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
여기가
office.
위층이야? 여기 안 열리고? 여기 아니야. 여기 아니야. 아이고. 화장실 어디야? 열어! 문 열어! 여긴가?
Stepping into his manager's office,
이리 오너라.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
나의 흔적이
Stanley
하나도
wondered in
없었다고?
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number,
2845.
2845. But of course, Stanley could, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley
우와.
happened to input the correct code by sheer
바뀌었어.
luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
문이 열렸구나. 뭐지? 내려간다. 우와. 이런 곳이 있었다고? 사장실에 이런 곳이? 설마 끝난 거 아니지?
Descending
아니네.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit
유하티
peculiar.
쉘터
It
입장하는
was a stirring
길입니다.
of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his
여기가 바로
Why
방공호?
did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
열렸다. 설마 또 닫혔어? 어디 들어가기만 하면 닫히네.
Stanley
오,
walked
야.
straight ahead through the large door that read
정신
Mind
지배
Control
기관이요?
Facility.
아무도 없는데? 어라? 불러볼까?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
우와,
screens.
이거 그거잖아.
What
1대
horrible
100
secret
하는
did
곳.
this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
1대
He had the
100.
strength to find out.
이쪽으로 가면 되나? 갈 수 있는 길이 여기밖에 없네.
1대 1000인데 보이는데요.
맞네. 이거 눌러야 되나?
Now the model
와우.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
와, CCTV
Stanley's
봐봐.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them. It
CCTV가 있는 게 왜
in this
감시야?
place where freedom
근무하는 곳에 CCTV는 원래 있는 거 아니야? 근데 엄청나다. 모든 자리에 있대요. 와, 엄청난 양이네. 이건 뭐야?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only
내가
reason he was happy
조종당하고
with his boring
있었던
job?
거라고.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
말도 안
in
돼.
someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating,
Whoa.
working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to
작동시키면
sink
어떻게
in,
되는데?
Stanley decided that
오프라인이라는데
this
지금?
machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once
눌러도 아무 일
and
없어.
for all.
해제하자고. 오, 여기 있을
And
것
when at
같다.
last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
누르라고? 온 오프. 오프 하자. 와, 다 껐다. 해치웠나?
Blackness and a rising chill
자,
of
이제 두 번째
uncertainty.
엔딩이자 튜토리얼이 끝났습니다. 본게임 시작해볼까요?
이게 튜토리얼이라고?
Yes, he had won. He had defeated the machine. unshackled himself from someone
자유가
else's
얼마 남지
command.
않았다는데?
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay
이것 또한 다
unsolved.
계산된
Where
행동이면
had his
어떡하지?
co-workers gone? How had he been
걸을
freed
수
from the
있네.
machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as
어디야,
sunlight
어디야.
streamed
아무것도 안
into the
보여.
chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal
뭐야.
had not been to understand,
앞으로 더 안
but to let
가지는데?
go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives,
이
it will
스크린
be
속에
his.
있는 자유가
And
끝이야?
that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before
근데 아까
him.
화면
This
속이었는데.
was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
이게 진짜
And
바뀌어?
Stanley was happy.
스탠리는 행복했대. 와우. 이게 혹시 진엔딩인가요? 아닌가요? 아, 일단 나가야 돼. 오, 깜짝이야. 구경했다. 태초 마을이야. 다시 가야
All of
해.
his co-workers were gone.
동료들이 사라졌어요. 이제
Stanley
말을
decided
듣지
to go to the
말아볼까?
meeting room. Perhaps he had
말을
simply
다
missed a memo.
들어서 간 엔딩이 하나 있고 말을 안 듣고 한번 가볼까?
When Stanley came to a set of two open
왼쪽 문으로
doors, he
들어갔어요.
entered
난
the door on
오른쪽으로
his
갈
left.
거야.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
사원 휴게실.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
여기가 휴게실이야?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took
왼쪽에
the
있는
first
첫 번째
open door on
문으로
his left.
들어갔어요. 이거? 안 들어갈 거야.
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
난
it's
지시를 잘
incredible he
못
wasn't
따라.
fired years ago.
올라가자.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off
난
on the
일을
wrong
못해.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the
네 말을
fact is
어떻게
that the
믿어?
story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
빨리 가자. 어디로 가야
This is
되지?
it, Stanley. Your chance to
그녀를
redeem
찾으라고요?
yourself, to put your work aside, to let
잡겠다.
her back into your life. She's been waiting.
오!
That's her.
깜짝이야.
Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your
전화를
faith in
받으라고.
another,
안 받을 거예요.
then pick up the phone.
싫어요. 일 시킬 거잖아요. 나 지금 바빠서 못 받는 거이. 개 바쁨. 개 바쁨.
딸 물결표 전화 좀 받아줘.
엄마? 난 시끄러워
As Stanley
죽겠어.
picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him,
됐나?
filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you
네,
just
전화선을
unplug the phone?
뽑았어요.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I
진짜로?
didn't even know that was possible.
내가 전화선
Let me
하나도 못
double
뽑을 줄
check.
알았어?
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his
전화 안
apartment where he finds his
받았다니까요.
wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of
난
action.
나갈래요.
How is that even possible?
은결아!
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand.
은결아!
How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
얘가 흑막이네, 나레이션이.
You're a real person. I can't believe
어,
I was
진짜
so mistaken.
사람이라고?
This is why you've been able to make
스탠리는
correct
사람이
and
아니야?
incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the
말이
severity
너무
of
많아요,
the situation?
선생님.
Well, I won't have that kind
난
of risk
나가고
on my watch.
싶어요.
I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
싫어요. 아!
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if
보기
used
싫다니까?
incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
교육용
For
비디오를
example,
맘대로
in this
틀었어.
scenario,
Ah,
어,
welcome
뭐야?
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you
몇
made
분
just
전에
a few
선택지로
minutes ago
돌아가라고?
and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
신아야. 신아야. 난 말 안 듣기로 했단 말이에요. 어떡하지? 어떻게 해야 되지? 나갈까? 나갈까? 말까? 나갈까? 말까? 문을 닫는 버튼은 없네. 나갈 수 있는 곳이 없어, 여기는. 저거 타서 밀어버리자고. 나 아까 여기서 이 버튼 눌러봤어, 이미. 탈 수 있나? 이러고. 후! 다시 들어가. 후! 다시 들어가. 오! 오! 안 되네. 닫는 것도 안 돼. 아! 어디로 가야 돼? 아까 거기로 가야 된다는 거잖아. 여기 방 있는데? 잠겨 있네. 아, 요거를 다시 타고.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
아,
Imagine the
내
main
선택에
character
의미가
dying
있다는 걸
senselessly
알아서 내가 못
halfway through the
뛰어내리겠대.
story.
아이고.
That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with
모순이 더
reality.
심해지기 전에. 난 모순된 사람인데 어떻게 하면 도망갈 수 있을까? 저기로 못 가? 못 가요? 그러니까 자유가 없다 이제. 싫어요. 닫지 말아주세요. 문 다 열어봐. 휴게소까지
Almost
왔어.
there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution
진짜
once again,
세계의 집으로
and you'll be
돌아갈
home free
거예요.
in the real world.
아, 이거 실험 당하고 있는 거구나. 그 전에 음료수 한 캔 정도는 괜찮잖아? 아이, 다 찌그러져 있니? 아닌가? 이거 하나 안 됐나? 안 나오나? 몰리 문 열어, 문 열어. 이 중에 하나는 열리지 않을까요? 이건 숫자가 없다. 다 안 열리네. 아까 거기인데?
Now remember,
Oh.
all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would.
다시
That
거기야.
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two
왼쪽에
open
문으로
doors, he
들어갔어요.
entered the door on his
뒷문!
left.
안 되고? 네, 오른쪽 문.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction.
어 이거
Perhaps we're
뭐야?
not too
방이
late.
달라졌어. 모양이 달라졌어. 근데 문이 안 열려. 점프가 안 되지? 안 된 건 되는구나. 어떻게? 다시 가볼까? 날 실험하는 거야, 이거는. 방법이 없는데? 슉샥! 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 안 닦인다. 안 닦인다. 아까 그 길이랑 똑같이 생긴 거 같죠? 아, 여기 책상 없어졌어요.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story.
Wow.
You've destroyed my work.
다
Why?
무너졌다.
For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's
왜
worthless. And
화났어?
what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving
나가자.
its impossibility
무서워.
forever.
얘 막
I
엄청
couldn't live
화났어.
that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely?
오!
To willingly destroy all of my
여기도
work? I
망가졌다.
don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I
뭐야?
do? What do
완전 무너져 내렸어.
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
계단이 생겼는데. 엄마 뭐야? 뭐이? 우와.
Oh, I'm here.
무서워.
I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look
여기
where we are.
있다고?
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine. And you
유감이야.
ran it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like
화내지
Stanley?
마.
He actually knows how to do
어디로
what I tell
가래?
him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
왜 내 탓으로 돌리는 거야? 네가 멍청한 거지.
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have
그래도
destroyed
우리
it
둘밖에
and been
없으니까
victorious.
사이좋게
It would have been so
지내자.
perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead
또
and
말
you'll be
들으라고?
fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two
왼쪽에
open
문으로
doors, he entered the
들어갔어요.
door on his left.
도르마무 물결표 아임 컴투 바겐.
근데 저 사람 너무 이중인격 같아요. 설명할 땐 젠틀한 척하고. 그러니까 말 안 듣고 싶은데 계속. 막 승질내니까 그냥 계속 말 안 듣고 싶은데.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley
아니,
would.
미쳤나
That
봐.
means choosing responsibly
문 열어.
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open
오른쪽
doors,
문으로
he entered the door
들어갔어요.
on his left.
쫙.
No! Why did
누가
you do
이기나
that?
해보자
Quickly,
이거구나.
오, 요딴 식으로
behave
한다고?
exactly as Stanley would.
내가
That
할
means
때까지 할
choosing
거야?
responsibly and
그렇구나.
always putting the story first.
그래,
I'm quite sure
계속
you'll be up to the
해봐.
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
쌤, 너 말이 너무 길어 근데 이거 계속 시키면.
entered the door on his left.
나나나나나.
No! Why did you do that?
알았어,
Quickly,
알았어.
hurry.
알았어.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
알았어. 한
responsibly
번만
and
왼쪽으로
always putting the
가줄게.
story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be
알았어요.
fine. All right.
왼쪽으로 한 번만
When
갈게요.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on
빨리
his left.
열어. 됐어? 만족해? 만족하냐고. 칭찬하라고.
딱히 널 위해서 가주는 건 아니니까 착각하지 마.
맞아. 햄. 안녕. 이거 계속 흔들면 안 열려요? 아닌가 보네. 뭐죠? 뭐지 이 노란 상자? 아, 꼭 들어가야 돼? 들어가는 건 싫은데. 들어가는 건 싫은데.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
이거 무조건
disbelief,
갈
Stanley
수밖에
decided
없네.
to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
그렇군. 그런 아이디어들. 훔쳐갈 만한 거 없나? 무기 같은 거 없나요, 무기? 없네, 없나 보네. 앉아. 안 되네. 밑에 뭐 없어? 못 들어가네? 내려가는
Coming
길도
to a
없네.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
여기가 안 열리는 곳이고 저 위만 들어갈 수 있는데 문 안 열리죠? 다시 내려가면 아무 일 없어? 컴퓨터다. 점프 없어요. 앉는 거밖에 없네. 이렇게 여기도 안 열리고.
Stepping inside his
와버렸다.
manager's
서장무실.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to
이번에는
discover not an indication of any human life.
오프 말고 온
Shocked,
해야 되겠는데?
unraveled,
다른
Stanley wondered
엔딩
in
보려면.
disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the
여기야?
code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within
코드를
himself
말을
the
했다.
courage to face the unknown.
그렇군.
He
목소리
drew
들을
a
수 있나?
sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark.
일일기에다 어떻게 말하냐고.
He spoke it into the receiver right there on the wall.
내가 말해야 된다고? 나이트 샤크 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did
여기요,
you?
선생님?
Please speak the code into the receiver.
이거
Otherwise
말하고
you can't get on with the
있잖아요.
story. This is a crucial step.
저 말하고 있잖아요. 나이트 샤크 115.
Okay, fine.
아니,
You're not gonna do it.
아니,
but you know
했다니까요?
what? It's pretty humiliating.
너
to bring
지금
you
발음
this
안
far
좋다고
only for you to
무시해.
suddenly decide you have
하고
better things to do.
있다니까요?
I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his
와.
choices. He knows what it means to take
저
a story
했다니까요.
seriously. If you didn't
이래서
want to see what I
사장
had
말은
to show
듣는
you,
게 아니야.
then why did you come here?
하라는
You
대로
had a
해도
choice, you
욕
know.
먹고
You could have
있잖아.
gone through the
안
door
해도
on the
욕
right.
먹고
You could have
있잖아.
done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When
우와.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
뭐야, 나 하늘 위에서 봐. 스탠리다.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is
끝났다.
important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
육아.
Choose.
우와.
Do something.
이게 진짜 엔딩 같은데?
Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there?
진 엔딩은 아닌데 이것도 엔딩이래요. 우와.
Okay.
기다릴 수 있어요?
Yeah, I can wait.
그래요?
Time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
와우, 나이스.
It's all right.
금방 봤네. 금방
All you
했네.
do to
엔딩.
decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
와, 기다려준대. 내가 선택할 때까지. 끝났네요. 오.
Yet there was not a single
안녕하세요.
person here either.
네.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
네.
up to his boss's office.
내려가는
Coming to the
길 있다.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
우와.
to his boss's office. But
차
Stanley
있다,
just
차.
couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post
문
during
여기
work
차고
hours.
문 여는
He might be
방법이.
fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
해고 당해도
All because he
상관없어.
believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
다른 데로
Maybe,
가볼까?
he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
어?
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley
바퀴
pondered this,
돌았어.
he began to make other strange observations. For
바뀌었다.
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
발이 안
went?
보인다.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too
어째
strange.
문이
This
막
can't be
닫혀요.
real. And at last,
여기도
he came
닫히고,
to the conclusion that had been on the
여기도
tip of his
닫히고.
tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
일로 가면
I'm
다시
dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream.
돌아왔어.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers
와,
weren't
계속
actually
루프야?
gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to
이게
himself,
앉을 수
I
있는
suppose
이유가
I'll wake
있을
up
거란
soon.
말이지.
I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to
뭐지?
gently float
뭐 할
above
때
the
쓰는
ground.
거지?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
뭐야?
It was so
우주가
much
됐어요.
fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all
점점
entered Stanley's
화면이
head.
좀
One he
달라지는데?
was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
아, 이 나레이션이 내
Now the
머릿속에서
voice was
들리는
describing
거야?
itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how
언제까지
it's
돌아야
describing my
돼요?
thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that of
그치, 너가
course,
나를
this was
정신지배하는
not a
거지.
dream. How could it be?
난 여기
Was Stanley
있을래.
simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility
나
for
여기
himself?
있을래.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock.
총 들라고? 총 어딨지?
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This
탕탕,
voice was a part of
탕,
himself
탕탕,
too, surely, surely,
탕탕,
if he could just...
탕탕.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
말 좀 그만하세요.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake
잠든다.
up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the
세뇌당한다.
world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I
와, 최면
want.
거는 거 봐.
I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will
열어.
be fine. I am okay.
와, 대박이다. 어디야? 아까 거기네?
아내 없으면서 꿈이라고 아내 만드는 거 봐.
Please, someone
뭐야?
wake me up.
뭐야,
My name
뭐야?
is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
뭐야? 왜 이렇게
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
마리엘라라는 여성에 관한 이야기.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her
뭐야?
place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy
왜
people look like.
미치광이라는 거야? 내가
And in
막
that
뛰어다닌
moment,
거야?
She thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body,
한참 쳐다보는구만.
and then she turned and ran.
엔딩 하나 또 봤다.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
와우.
wasn't fired years
자살
ago.
엔딩을 찍어보도록 하겠습니다. 네. 점프하면 안 된대요.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off
난
on the
여기서
wrong foot
떨어질
here.
거야.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
더.
But in his eagerness to prove
우와.
that he is in control of the
소리
story
뭐야?
and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
너 말 너무 꿀밖에 한다. 전화 온다. 전화가 어디지? 이거다.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work.
갑자기 영어
Can you
듣기
verify that
시간인데?
this is correct? Excellent. Your order
나
will
뭐
arrive shortly.
눌렀나 봐.
Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
끝났나? 버튼 누르러 가자. 그래?
When Stanley came to a set of two
오른쪽
open,
문으로
this was not the correct way
들어갔습니다.
to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by
말
the
안
employee
들으니까
lounge
짜증나지?
first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
안 들어갈래.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired
일단은
years ago.
저기 끝까지 들어가자.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
너
I'm not
위에서
blaming
쳐다보고
you, really,
있지.
I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
나 떨어질
Someone
뻔했다.
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
그녀가 도대체
This is it,
누구야?
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside.
우리가 본 그녀는
to
한
let
명밖에
her
없잖아요.
back into
그쵸?
your life.
아까 추락사
She's been
했었어요.
waiting.
조금 전에. 방금 전에. 그 여자? 들어왔어. 와우.
That's her, Stanley.
여기가
You
아니네.
need to be the one to do this. To
전화
reach out to
받아볼까?
her.
우와.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling this out of the
자기?
oven. All right. Okay, there we go.
나 못
All
움직여.
right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
깜짝이야.
Gotcha. Oh,
소름
come
끼쳤다.
on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to
너
you?
말 진짜 개심하게
I'm trying to make
한다.
a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
나 모쏠인 거 어떻게 알았냐 너.
Sorry,
Oh.
but you're in my story now.
깜짝이야. 공포 게임이에요. 아니. 소름 끼쳐요 이거.
This is a very sad
마네킹.
story about the death of a man named Stanley.
내 죽음에 대한 이야기라고? 당신의 키보드에서 2를 누르세요.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
4를 누르세요.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going
뭐야?
home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him.
왜 못
except
나가냐
that he's
여기.
chosen this
막혀
life.
있네. 자꾸 막 누르라 그래요. 나 세뇌 당했나 봐. 자꾸 누르게 돼. P?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen
근데
to
나
him.
좀 꺼내줘. TV를 보려면 Z.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
TV 보여준다며.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
아이들이 있어요? 저한테? 4번.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
뭐지?
choice.
조금씩 달라지고
It
있는 것
barely
같긴
even
한데
mattered
이건
what lay
또 왜
behind
이러고
each
있어?
door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
저녁을 차리려면 U.
As he wandered
우와.
through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many
여기
possible
점점 내가
paths
일하던
and
공간처럼
destinations.
변하는 것 같은데.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
아이들에게 이야기를 들려주려면 Z. 다른 걸 눌러볼까? 안 되네. You can 점프 도전 과제 달성. 아, 스페이스바가 점프 키인데 안 되게 해놨구나. Z.
It was such a wonderful fantasy. And so in his head, he relived it again. And then again.
아니
and
나는
again,
지금
over
현실은
and
이런
over, wishing
시궁창
beyond
속에
hope that
있는데
it would
지금
never end,
무슨
that he
얘기를
might
하는
always
거야?
feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be?
독수리
Perhaps if he
탑업으로
played
키보드
just one
누르시는
more
게
time.
아까 봤던 스텔리랑 똑 닮으셨어요.
그니까 스탠리가 아까 하던 일이랑 똑같은 일을 하는 것 같은데? 지시가 오면 그대로 따라하는.
But there is no
어어.
answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same
아내가
buttons he always
없어요.
has. Nothing
내
has changed.
마네킹
The
안에.
longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real
어떡해.
one.
여기서 내가 앉겠지?
And I'm trying to
아니야?
tell him this. That in this world he
또
can
아니야?
never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
아까 그 방이다.
He won't listen to
그치?
me.
우리 딱
He won't
여기서
stop.
여기 나갔잖아.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button,
버튼
do
누르라고
not
하면
do
누르지
it.
마세요. V.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I
역시
see?
그 방일 줄
How can I make
알았어.
him look at himself?
어떠한 질문도 하지 않으려면 구.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not
나
so
여기
different, I
앉아서
suppose.
일하던 그 사람
I'll try
모습
once
그대로다.
more to
스탠리
convey
모습
this to him.
그대로다.
I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
죽으세요.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
죽였어 이 사람이.
Stanley
Oh.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read
와
Mind
여기
Control
다른
Facility.
공간이 있어요. 다른 공간 못 참는데.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the
뭐요?
truth was that at the
내가
end of this
죽는다고요?
hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
잔인한 죽음을 맞이한다고요?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity
아
to
돌아갈
turn around
기회가
and get back
있다고.
on
응
track.
안 가?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward
응 안
and
죽어?
willingly confront his death.
안 죽어요. 와 내려가는 길 있다. 우와! 아! 진짜 죽었나? 아니다 내려간다. 살았다. 뭐야
As the
어디가?
machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.Stanley can't see
뭐야,
the
저거?
future. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his
압축당하는 거 아니야?
narrow vision of what
어떡해요?
this world is. Perhaps his death
어떡해요?
would be a great loss.
님들!
The eyeballs from a blind.
살려줘!
So he resigned and willingly
아니야
accepted his
난
violent
죽음
death to
도망가고
accomplish
싶은데 도망갈 데가 없어. 으아, 그거 어떻게 바로 앞이야? 아, 어떡해 안 죽었는데?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine
나
crushed every
살아있는데?
bone in his body, killing him instantly.
뭐야?
And
엔딩인가?
yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When
새로운
every
공간이야.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment
뭐야,
he
이거?
hit start?
스탠리의 컴퓨터. 이게 왜 전시되어 있지? 여기는 사무실 구조인데? 어? 이거 내가 쓰던 책상 아니야? 뭐야? 2번, 3번. 전시되어 있네? 내가 죽어서 온 건가? 꺼진다. 크레딧인데요? 왼쪽으로 가볼까? 아, 이거 복사기. 봤던 것들 다 있네. 자전거 있고, 이건 바퀴인가 본데. 이건 또 뭐야? 역사 박물관처럼 해놨네. 뭐라고 적혀있는지 뭐라는지는 모르겠어. 아, 개발자들 메시지. 오. 만들어놨던 거 이렇게 다 보여주는구나. 내가 못 들어가 본 것도 있는 것 같은데. 뭐야, 이거는. 이거 버튼 누르고 내려가던 그거구나. 컴퓨터 여러 대 있는 거. 이렇게 내려왔네요. 여기 오른쪽 길은 소리나. 우와. 전시관.
Now look closer, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design.
오, 소리만 듣고 못 가겠네.
Now then, it's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively, Yuhatty.
빨리 빨리. 다 봤어. 우와. 와, 이거 계속 보고 있으면 움직였구나. 이제 여기가 진짜 마지막인가?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
우와. 여기가 마지막이구나. 온, 오프.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
안 보이는데요?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You
깜짝이야.
can still save these two.
어?
You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no
ESC를
other way
누르고 나가기 버튼을
to
누르래.
beat this game. As long as you
아,
move forward.
어떡해. 안녕. 돌아가기겠지?
Someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for
아우. 나가기가 어느 거죠? 돌아가기 이게 나가기인가? 돌아가기? 아! 끝났네. 여기서 이쪽으로 나가면 출구.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
오프.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No. perhaps
원하다.
not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
원하다 이러는 줄 알았어 계속.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as
이제
you move
진짜
forward, you
찍힌다.
will pick someone else's path. Stop now and be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
안녕.
Don't let time
안녕. 납작. 뭐지? 멈췄어. 응? 왜 새까매졌지? 키가 안 먹히는데? 스탠리는 죽어버렸기 때문에 의도적으로 재시작해야 다시 시작한다는 사실을 깨닫게 되었습니다. 와, 진짜 이렇게 끝이에요? 아까 낙사했을 땐 아니랬는데?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
정신
Facility.
지배기관. 드디어 간다.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
Wow.
himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
나 어디 있지?
Each bore the
나
number of an
400대인데?
employee in the building. Stanley's
420 몇
co-workers.
번이었지?
The lives of so many individuals reduced to
여기인가?
images on a
427번?
screen. And Stanley,
여기인가?
one of
여기
them,
여기
eternally
자막 바로 위에
monitored in this
파란색?
place where freedom meant nothing.
가볼게요. 기다리면은 그거 되던데? 427번 저기구나. 봐봐, 여기 한중간. 저기다. 저기가 우리가 있던 곳.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be
와,
true.
근데 너 연기
Had Stanley really been
잘한다.
under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
너가 조종하면서 아닌 척하는 거 봐.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was
Never,
unthinkable.
ever.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
어디로 가?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with
와, 이건
emotions.
뭐예요?
Happy or sad or content.
아, 이렇게 지나갈 수
Walking,
있는
eating,
거였어?
working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
와우.
Stanley decided that this machinery would
도착했어요,
never
드디어.
again
그곳에
exert its
왔다.
terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once
해제할
and
거니까요.
for all.
안 할 건데?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
내가 컨트롤 하겠다.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off,
우와.
and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation
진짜요?
system. In the event that
모든
this machine
시설을
is
제거하게
activated
되어
without
있대.
proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode,
어떡해.
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then?
2분? 달려.
Say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's
Wow.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind.
어디로
What
도망가야
a shame
되는
we have
거지?
so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments
뭐지?
each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
뭐야?
where we're going, what all this means. I barely know
3번?
where to start.
뭐야? 2번? 2번 저기
What's that?
있잖아 버튼.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set
아,
you free.
못 들어가.
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office
빨간
forever,
버튼 누를 수
pushing
있나,
buttons
이제?
endlessly
안
and then
된다.
dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground,
에러
swallowing
떴어.
everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you
버튼을
try to make
어떻게
sense
눌러야
of
되는
everything
거예요?
and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I
도망가야겠다.
hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on
어,
the
여기
next
4번
go
버튼
around
있다.
will be even better.
그래?
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But
이게
I'm
있었다고?
enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are
3번.
precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
1분 44초 남았어 지금.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
3번.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be
빨간
doing
버튼.
right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen
빨간
to screen,
버튼.
clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these
어디서
colored
힌트를
ones.
얻을 수
Or maybe
있지?
this big red button, or this door.
3번.
Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
왜요?
That this video game can be
3번.
beaten? One solved? Do you
3번,
have any
3번,
idea
3번.
what your purpose in this place is?
이게 1번, 2번.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a
이게 몇
spoiler for you.
번이지?
That
이게
timer isn't
4번.
a catalyst to keep the action moving along.
이게 1, 2번.
It's just seconds ticking
3번
away
어딨지?
to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
이게 5번.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it
여기
first,
있다.
so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
아무것도 안 보여.
Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the
너무
journey.
흔들거려.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your
알려줘.
inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
터졌어.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
여기 가봤잖아. 차고지. 일로 가면 거기고. 어우. 오랜만이네. 근데 이거 타봤어요. 더 내려가면 그 차고지.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
안녕하세요.
From here, it's, left.
왜 갑자기 생각을 하시죠? 뭐죠?
Oh, no. No, it's to the right.
뭐야?
My mistake.
오른쪽이라고? 너 왜 갑자기 나랑 와리가리해?
No, not the
뭐지?
right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left,
오른쪽,
down,
왼쪽,
left,
아래, 왼쪽,
right.
오른쪽.
Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this
Oh.
way.
맞아요? 여기 공간이 있다. 일로 가는 건가? 여기 거기잖아. 구독 감사합니다.
No. This isn't right
네?
at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
나 눈 다 뜨고
Quick,
있는데 다
Stanley, close your
봤는데.
eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
에?
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far.
왜
off track,
싫어요?
hmm?
다시 안
Okay,
해요.
From the top.
다시 시작해.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
어떻게 된
Stanley decided to
일일까요?
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
오른쪽 갈 거야.
When Stanley... Wait.
뭐야?
Wait, what?
엄청 많은데?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere?
뭔가
or- Hold on.
오류가 생겼나
Why am
봐.
I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
와우.
Let's find the story.
이야기를 찾으러 가재. 오른쪽, 맨 오른쪽부터 가볼게요. 여기 같은 공간이네. 여긴 처음 오는 곳이고. 와, 뭐야. 길 못 찾겠는데?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again.
여기로
But it's got to
나왔어.
be better than this. Okay, let's give
의자
it a
뒤에?
shot. Why
여기
not?
점프 안 돼요. 다시 시작했어.
All of
강제로.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
엄마
Okay,
이제는
it's
문이
worse.
없어요.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
어디를? 문도 안 열리는데? 이거 위로 올라갈 수 있게 되어 있지? 뭔가 천장 위로 올라갈 수 있게 되어 있네.
Aha! I
뭐야?
knew we'd missed something.
여기 이런 데
The
없었잖아요.
story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
또 돌아가면? 여긴 어디야?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
뭐야, 판자야. 그냥
Is that
판자집이야.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how
설마
about this?
다시 시작해?
You win!
와!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and
이겼다고?
it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
또 시작해. 이제 노란 선이
All
있다.
right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable
누워서 떡
adventure
맡깁니다.
line.
이거 어떻게 들어가요?
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
길이 아예
See? The
달라졌는데요.
line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life
맞지?
itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact
손
a
따라가 볼게요,
byproduct
일단.
of one's
계단이다.
subjective experience of that existence, right?
와우.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience
그리다가
of
술
this
마셨나
office,
본데.
is this office in
와우.
fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa.
와우.
That
한
got a bit
바퀴.
weird back there.
와우.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
뭐야 이거? 무슨 노래야? 딴따따따따 딴따라란 따라란 딴따따따 와우. 잘 따라오세요 여러분. 안전벨트 매시고. 와우.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Wait, what? We're back at the office?
뭐야?
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this
아까
ringing
거기다.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you...
재시작
Is
그만해.
any more to help
그만
with it?
그만.
Restart.
아. 와.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting,
닫아버렸네.
daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in...
어디로?
Well, I don't know. How about this direction?
문 열렸다.
Now, yes, this is
날
exciting.
어디로 데리고
Just
가는
me
거야?
and Stanley forging a new path, a new
와
story. Well, it
여기도
could be anything.
미로야.
What do you want our story to be?
엥? 뱅글뱅글
Go
도는데?
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
길 있다.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the
여기
line
위를
from
어떻게
having any
가죠?
role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
줄이 아주 그냥 티익스프레스야. 여기 위로 올라간다.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
또
From here,
왼쪽
the story is
오른쪽.
in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
에?
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere the place where we're trying to
왜
go,
갑자기 뱅뱅
there must
돌라는
be a
거지?
reverse
이렇게 돌면
door
되지.
that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let's
오른쪽부터
ask,
시작하자고?
will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts,
안
the
열려.
door on the right is the
떨어져.
correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
와우. 시간초 있는데? 아니네.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
아, 8번.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's
지금
written
내가
here on
본
this
엔딩을
thing
보여주는 건가?
wall. Well,
네, 하나,
who
둘, 셋, 넷,
consulted
다,
me?
여, 일곱,
Why
여덟.
don't I get to decide? Why
지금
don't
4개
I get a
엔딩을
say in all of this?
봤다고.
Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this.
왜
I
너는
won't
모르는 척해?
restart the game. I won't do it. I won't
둘 다
do it.
똑같은
I won't
입구구나.
do it. And the
Oh.
timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for
누가
us?
온다고? 안 올 것
something happen?
같은데. 여기 위에 구멍 나 있는 거 봐.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story.
나레이션도
Wouldn't you agree?
시스템의
Not sure
일부였다고.
if we're in the destination
그래서
or the
얘도 지금
journey.
당황해하는
They're
거야?
always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime,
어머, 깜짝이야.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
뭐야?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
갑자기 다른 공간인데요? 열렸다. 엔딩. 화이트보드 엔딩. 뭐야 이게? 뭐야? 낚이지도 않아? 이것도 아니고.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single
Oh.
difference. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
왼쪽 문으로 들어갔습니다. 문 닫혔어. 왼쪽 들어가 보죠.
Yet there was not a single
아무도
person here either.
없었습니다.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he
뭐야?
might find an answer there.
문이 열렸어.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
가지고 올 수 있는 거 없어? 문을
There
닫을
was
수
nothing
있는.
here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No
Oh.
reason to still be here.
안전한데?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting
네.
in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing
아무것도
anything.
하지 않고
At least if there was
있었습니다.
something
아,
to
나
impact
이거
it,
옛날에
he'd be
알바할 때
justified
썼던
in
거다.
some
걸레
way.
물 짜는
As it
거.
is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
이 무기가 될 만한 게
Are you
많은데?
still in the broom closet, standing around doing nothing? Why?
자꾸 말
Please
걸지
offer me some
마.
explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
혼란스럽니? 그냥 여기 아늑해서.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of
중요하지
absolutely
않아서
no
언급할
significance to the
생각조차도
story
못했대.
whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
그랬구나.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom
어우,
closet
청소
ending?
도구함
The
엔딩
broom
봤어?
closet
난
ending was
청소
my
도구함
favorite."
엔딩이 제일
I
좋더라.
hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He
뭐야,
probably
왜
only got
갑자기
the
인신
job because of a
공격해?
family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
어? 말 너무 심하게 해요.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going
나
on.
죽었어?
You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's
아무것도 없다는
nothing
걸 알고
here but a
나가려다가
physical
당신은
malady of some sort
중추신경이랑
shut down your
관련된
central
병이
nervous
도졌대.
system, and you
갑자기
collapse.
키보드에 머리를 박았대요.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
와,
Please remove their corpse from the area
인성 터졌어.
and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
복도로 나오래요. 실러잉. 왜 말 안 걸어줘? 더 안 걸어주네. 쟤가 화낼 때 제일 재밌는데.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you
나
can hand out
고양이 안
the details. I'm not
키우는데
particularly
어떡하지?
picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
나 무서워. 못 나가겠어. 말 안 걸어주나? 더 안 걸어주나? 아, 여기 너무 아늑하고 좋은데. 노란 불빛인데.
Incredible. he wasn't
옆으로
5
떨어지면
years ago.
된다고? 자.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
야,
gotten off
여기?
on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
야,
I'm
여기?
not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
여기로?
There's someone you've been neglecting.
으앙!
Someone. What?
오, 됐다.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
우와.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
여기
Well,
잠겨 있어.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something
Ooh.
beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
잠겨 있네. 새로운 곳이에요. 계단이 있고
Now listen
빨간색,
carefully.
파란색
This is
문이 있다.
important. Stanley walked through the red door.
A red door. blue door. 감사합니다.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
blue door.
I still don't think we're
깜짝이야.
communicating properly.
이게 뭐야?
Stanley walked through the red door.
blue door인데 블루 어디 갔지? 팔로우 감사합니다. 뭐? 아, 뭐? 야, 화살표 몇 개? 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯 개나 돼요. 미친. 블루 도어 있다. 블루 도어.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see?
우와.
There's nothing here. I haven't even
아무것도
finished
없네.
building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
11년 동안
Broken
아직도 안
rooms,
만들었다고요?
exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I
그렇구나.
put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours.
일단 너의 나레이션이 좀 줄어들면 좋을 것 같아.
Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
우와.
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
오렌지 공간. 그래요. 와우,
Okay, I'm
예쁘다.
going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would
소감에
you say
대해서
that the game
말해주세요.
benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
뭐를 눌러야 되는데요?
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be
점수구나.
improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically.
미안,
but
미안.
1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
미안. 1점은 아니었어.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a
와,
look.
진짜요? 새로운 버전이요? 와우. 이게 뭐야? 오호. 와우. 나 어디 있어? 아, 이거 나야? 일곱 시간 37분? 나 7시간 안 했는데? 제가 켜놨던 시간 때문인가 봐요. 방송 키기 전에 준비해놔서 그런가? 들어가 보자.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
뭐 어떻게 생각하냐고요? 4점? 3점? 4점? 4점?
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a
게임의
look at it, would you?
시제품이요?
Perfect.
좋아요.
Let me boot it up.
뭐야?
In this game,
이게
the baby
뭐예요?
crawls left towards danger.
아기랑
You click the button to
불이네요.
move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
오른쪽으로
It's a very meaningful
밀어내라고.
All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of
너 왜
family
갑자기
life.
이딴
I
식으로
think the
날
upload
농락하는
will
거야?
really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
뭐야 이게? 이거 그냥 들어가게 둬도 되지 않을까? 끝이 없을 것 같은데.
Heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out.
플레이 해주셔서 감사합니다.
Thank you for
소중한
playing.
의견
Your input was
감사드립니다.
extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
또 새로운
What do we
게임이야?
have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
이번엔 또 어떤 이상한 덩 게임을 가지고 올까? 마인크래프트다.
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
오.
At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with.
점프가 안 되는데요.
Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
점프가 안
I'll say
되는데요.
this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a
와,
greater
똑같다,
artistic
마크랑.
purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
깜짝이야.
This will go here. No, here.
우와.
And then...
여기 뭐 짓고 있어. 누구세요? 컷신이다, 컷신.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes.
뭐야.
It's complete. I made this, Stanley.
완벽한데요.
Gaze upon my work of
제가
art
평소에
and
만든
feel
집이랑
ashamed
사이즈가
at your
똑같아요.
own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make
와우,
yourself comfortable.
나이스.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect?
내가 만든 것 같아.
It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild
어디,
it out
어디로
of diamond.
채광하러 가자고?
Diamond everything.
어디?
Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go
오,
mining.
깜짝이야. 여기야? 아래로 내려가.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark.
아니요.
You brought a light? Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind.
이거 다
I'm looking
보이는데?
for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5.
오,
Even the
거미
diamond couldn't save
소리.
this one. Okay, new game.
뉴 게임. 얘 너무 지 멋대로 해요. 눈부셔.
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love
이건 또
it.
뭐야?
You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me
화장,
talk.
어머,
It's
깜짝이야.
inspired. I
깼다.
couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game
이게
even
뭐야?
supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm
깨부시는.
curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
뭐죠? 포탈이에요? 저 이 게임을 안 해봐서.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
여기 떨어졌다.
Genius.
어떻게 놔요 이거? 됐다.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty.
왜요?
I really don't care much to see
재밌었는데.
you stumble through anymore.
우와. 신기하다. 일로 가라고? 떨어진다. 어디까지 떨어지는 거야? 아무것도 안 보여. 어디로 가는 거야? 위로 같아. 여기서 왔고. 공겜이라고? 저기 보인다. 밝은 곳. 컴퓨터실에 왔어. 아무것도 없어. 그래? 여기서 뭐 하는 거 아니야? 이게 무슨 게임인지를 모르겠네.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will
그가
wrap
누구야,
everything up in the
나야?
end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
난
Oh,
너가
yes.
무슨 말 하는지
Yes,
잘
I'll be back. There's
모르겠어.
no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
네.
I can wait.
아, 기다린다고요? 에?
Now
찾았다.
listen carefully. This is important.
아까 우리 여기서
Stanley
끝까지
walked
파란 문
through the red
갔잖아.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating.
여기잖아.
properly.
여기서 파란 문
Stanley
갔잖아.
walked through the red
이번엔 빨간 문
door.
가볼까? 와우. 네? 여기 가면 어디야? 엥? 뭐지? 이렇게 돌면 짠 가야 하는구나.
What do we want? What are we
이게
looking
뭐야?
for?
우와. 우주잖아.
Beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
여기서
I
왔어?
actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going?
네? 또 네? 다시 들어갈게요. 네.
Right. Where were we?
응, 이쁘다. 응, 너무 예쁘다.
Oh no.
어?
Stay away from those
왜요?
stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll
왜
lose all
죽어요?
of this.
왜 죽어요? 계단인데?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
너도 만들어진 거야? 오호라. 그런 의미구나.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No!
No!
Oh,
살았어.
thank God. You lived.
한 번 더.
You have me worried. No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from
이
me.
정도
I can't
피로는
go
안
back to what I
되는
was
거야?
before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
우리는 새로운 길을 개척해야 해. 야! 안
Stanley,
죽네?
let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? My God. Is this really how much you dislike
아니야,
my game?
너가 싫은 건
That you'll
아닌데.
throw yourself from this platform over and over to
한
be
번만
rid
더
of it? You were
뛰어내려보고
literally willing
그러고
to kill yourself to
생각해볼게.
keep me from being happy.
아,
Am I reading the situation
오야.
correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wonder
알았어,
that you actually
돌아갈게.
want to stay alive, or are you just teasing me?
와우, 이게 뭐야?
I wanted
와우.
us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did.
여기서
I wish
행복하다고?
I still thought that
너
was
어지러워
possible.
죽겠는데? 유하, 어서오세요. 뭐야? 계속 여기 있자고? 너 더 말 안 하면 나 다시 가고. 너가 말을 해야지. 말 안 할 거야? 안 해? 안 해? 이래도 안 해? 이래도? 이래도?
Is it
죽었다.
over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
포기했다, 쟤.